Hello, hello. Welcome to day 3 of my little countdown to yoga teacher training. So we start yoga teacher training 200-hour in about 27 days, and that's at Alley Cat Yoga. Very excited to be a co-leader in this yoga teacher training. I have led or co-led one training prior to this, so we're making a bunch of tweaks and adjustments and going to make this one, of course, the best one yet. But there's so much involved and it's been really fun. So I thought I'd do a countdown to share what I'm working on, as well as some information for those of you who can't make it to yoga training. Maybe you still want a little bit of a preview of what's to come. So today we're talking about the Yamas and the Niyamas. And this is a required book, but it's more than just a book for our yoga teacher training. This was not a required book in my training, but it has been in many others that I have helped with or have seen, and it's just a really easy book to read. But where this comes from, the Yamas and the Niyamas, is the 8 limbs of yoga, or the 8-limbed path. Yoga is so much more than just our physical practice. So our physical practice sure is important, and a lot of us, including myself, start with the physicality of it, the flexibility, the stretches, the breathing, but there's more than that. So asana is one of the 8 limbs, asana being the poses, and that actually comes after the yamas and the niyamas, which are 1 and 2. So if you think of this, if you're working on this from 1 through 8, you would start first with moral restraints and rightful living, which is what the Yamas and Niyamas teach us. So it's more of the philosophy behind living your yoga life, right? So, but more than just stepping on your mat for 30 minutes or for an hour a day, there's a whole lifestyle behind this, and it's based on really simple ethics, but remembering these principles are very important. So it's not right and wrong, but just like a guide, and to just see, oh, my teapot is boiling. I got it. Be right back. All right, sorry for that little delay. I had to run and had the teapot whistling, which I'm actually not making tea. I'm probably making a hot cocoa, but everything in life balance. Anyway, back to yamas and niyamas. So within the yamas and the niyamas are little segments. So there are 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. I would kind of say they're like the 10 commandments, but not really, because it's not do this or that, or do this or you die, or whatever. It's not right and wrong. They're just principles to live by, or boundaries, or whatever you want to call them. It's a practice, so something you work on each day, never getting to a point where you're winning or losing. So nonviolence, so for the yamas, we've got 5 of them. I'm not going to break them up in depth a whole lot, but I am going to talk about them just shortly, and then in the coming days I may sprinkle in more of each of these. So yamas include nonviolence, truthfulness, non-stealing, non-excess, and non-possessiveness. And there are Sanskrit terms for this, like satya and asteya and saucha. Like, you can say it different words, but in English, nonviolence, which is the first yama, actually most of them tie in with nonviolence, being nonviolent to yourself, speaking right words to yourself and to others, and not doing harm. And then there's truthfulness, non-stealing, non-excess, non-possessiveness. Those are the yamas. The niyamas that we work on are more of a little bit different. They're not quite, you'll notice kind of a pattern. They're not quite like moral restraints. They're more so rightful ways of living. So living with purity, contentment, self-discipline, self-study, and surrender. And again, this book is amazing. It's by Deborah Adele, and I think she's from Minnesota or north of, or Wisconsin or something. So that's kind of cool. I think she's from Superior, actually. But I do have this in a link in my favorite books. I have a favorite yogi books category on my little kit.com website. And that's where I put a lot of recommendations out there, kind of like Pinterest, where you can pin different things, but this is all coming mostly from Amazon, pinning my favorite products that I personally use in different categories, like books for yogis, yoga equipment, online yoga, teaching equipment, and stuff like that. So the Yamas and Niyamas are a great place to start your yoga practice if maybe you're not quite ready for the physical practice of it. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the practice behind beyond the poses, Yamas and Niyamas are a great place to start, because that's 1 and 2 of the 8-limbed path. In this book, you can do like 1 chapter a week, and it's just nonviolence is chapter 1, truthfulness is chapter 2. Really easy to get through. And at the end, if anything, look at the end of the chapter and you'll see some homework assignments or some ideas to practice this in your own life. And so we had some really great discussions in my last yoga training about each week we do a different yama or niyama. And this upcoming training, because it's an intensive, it's done in less than 3 weeks, we probably won't get to do, a 1 week per yama niyama. Maybe it's like every other day. We'll have a short discussion on each of them and go, even if you don't read it, which you should, even if you don't read it though, we can still join in these discussions, because they're applicable to everybody, whether you are into yoga or not. It's right ways of living. It's how you live your life, how you treat others, and all of that. How you treat yourself is a big thing. So yoga really is a great lifestyle tool. Just like a lot of people say that such and such changed my life. And oftentimes it's because they found something within it that helped them find their true self, or to help them with the discipline or the contentment or these things that are in the Yamas and Niyamas book. And there are other books on the Yamas and Niyamas. This one I've just found is the easiest to digest and to understand, because a lot of it's written in plain English, and it's a lot of great examples in there, and some really great things. Anyways, yeah. So that's the Yamas and the Niyamas. We still have a few spots open for yoga teacher training. I do like to mention it every so often, just because I'm so excited about it. And so is Dave. And so Dave is the other teacher. He's the owner of the studio. And so are all the participants so far. This was the topic for the day. And this is day 3 of our 30-day countdown. Tomorrow, I'll be back again for another little discussion, just talking about different topics around yoga and yoga teacher training and yoga lifestyle. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We are still all a work in progress. And that's why we call it yoga practice and not yoga perfect or yoga perfection or anything like that. It is purely a practice that we do each moment of our lives. And the more you repeat some of these concepts and look into them and learn them, and the more you ingrain yourself in them, the more they're going to become part of you. And that's how yoga has really helped transform my life beyond just the physicality of it. And it's a lot of it's reading, listening to great teachers, and finding resources that help us with lifestyle stuff beyond just, the hard stuff in your life, beyond just feeling weak. So like the mind stuff, and through getting through tough challenges, and these books and stuff can help. So check out that link and leave any comments, ask any questions, and I will catch you next time. Bye.